meeting to order.
All right, just give me 1 second here. Oh, all right, put this around here. 1 second, having technical difficulties here. All right, I'm good. All right, on February 5th, 2021, notice of this meeting was posted to the official Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency website and emailed to both the Courier Post and Gloucester City News newspapers for publication. The official notice to clerk was emailed on February 5th, 2021, which included a request for publication of the notice to the official Borough Bellmawr website and bulletin board. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. Salute the flag.
Oh,
Pledge allegiance
to the
flag,
flag,
To the flag,
United States of America,
America,
and to the
and to
republic
the republic
which it stands,
stands
one nation under
one
God,
nation under God,
indivisible,
visible,
with liberty and
and justice for all.
all right, my apologies here. I think somebody just joined us too. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, it's Jeff Simpson. Sorry I'm late.
No problem, Jeff. I just want to make sure I got you and do the sound checks and everything before we do the roll call. So we should be good. All right, so that does bring us to roll call. Chairman Frank Philpott,
Present.
Vice Chair Steve Haggerty,
Here.
Commissioner Ray Bider,
Here.
Commissioner Nick Kapados,
Here.
Commissioner Tom Whitman,
Here.
Commissioner Neil Patel. He did notify us that he would be unable to join us this evening. Commissioner Jeff Simpson.
Here.
All right, management professionals, Josh Tregear, I am here, executive director, Mr. McKenna, solicitor.
Present. Yes, present. Thank you.
And I do not see Dennis, our engineer, on the line, but sometimes he joins in process. So, all right. Typical meeting agenda for this evening, which begins with the reading of the minutes for the last month's meeting, regular meeting, September 20th, 2021.
Accept the minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Bider.
Seconded.
Is that you, Nick?
That's me.
Mr. Kapados, sorry. All in favor? Signify by saying aye. All right. Communications. We have the redevelopers report that is pending. Did not receive that today in time to include with the materials. The traffic engineers report. He had actually sent a note stating that he has an upcoming meeting with Dewberry, so it'd be better to provide the Q4 report in November. So I told him we were fine with that, and then Mike will discuss in further detail a letter he received for a records request from a Deputy Attorney General for the state. And then commissioner reports. If you have anything, please speak up. If not, I will move on.
Yeah, I got something to say. I just want to let everybody know that they can tell the people now that Philippex Mountain's being cleared today. It started evening it out today. So people can't complain that we're just going to leave them a mountain.
All right. Anybody else have anything to add? All right, moving on. Executive director's report. Gentlemen, like I said, not much to report other than I have to finish what I reported upon last month due to some very urgent family issues over the last month, particularly over the last week. But we'll close that out and everything there, including the audit, get that done in November. In addition to that, focusing on some year-end close. We may have to tweak the remaining meeting schedule a bit, but I'll look at that and send something out. And then in addition to that, typically at the November meeting is when we begin the RFP process for the following year for the professional services. Before I turn it over to Mike, any questions for me?
Yes, Josh, what is the deadline for the audit?
There's no typical deadline. I mean, right? It's what you would term as soft. We're not in violation of anything. So it's basically, it's part of the issue was not having admins and then not having access. Now that I got it and had to relearn the admin system because of the what I was dealing with last month, on a personal level, didn't have the extra time to commit in order to get that and the audit over the goalpost.
So
But
we're okay then, it's all
we're
matters.
we're not in violation or lack of compliance in any way. So no. Any other questions? All right. Turn it over to Mr. McKenna.
All right, folks, I asked Josh to get you over a letter that would likely bore you to tears because that's what it did to me. But since its author was a deputy attorney general, I felt compelled just to turn it over because by the sound of it, oh, we got a letter from the attorney general. It must be important. Well, it's not. But I'll give every due courtesy. It's a request actually between the deputy attorney general who's doing condemnation work to us, asking us to help him do his job. And I had a nice long chat with him. He told me the letter was coming, and I said I'd look at it when it came in. It came in on Thursday, Friday, and I sent it to Josh right away. And I authored a response to it. Essentially, I think this fellow misperceives who we are and what we do and who I am and who I work for, because he's asking me to search the borough records. He's calling me the municipal lawyer, asking me to search borough records dating back to 2005. And folks, as you know, you all were birthed in the year 2017. So I don't like to shuffle people off somewhere else, but I also don't like to go out of my lane. So I've written him a nice, polite letter and told him mostly that we don't have much of anything that touches on his case. This is a property they've already taken, and now they're just haggling in court about, the high, the low, the ridiculous, and the sublime. This is not our fight, and I don't expect to expend a lot of time or your attention getting involved in somebody else's fight. They haven't actually done an Oprah request. This is a simple letter request. Unfortunately, we don't have these records, but they are entitled to the courtesy of a response. I dictated it. I wasn't able to proof it in time for the meeting, but I'll get it out, and I don't expect to hear from them further on it. But just to be on the safe side, I thought I'd bring you into the idea, particularly since the author was a deputy attorney general, and that has some kind of sometimes menacing overtone as if there was a problem. But really, this is a fight between people we're not involved in. Property off the redevelopment tract, but taken by DOT for the direct connect. So long story short, I should also comment while I'm on my feet, while I'm on my feet, even though I'm sitting, that I've been following closely some recent struggles that redevelopers having with a final detail issue in Tidelands. I think the redeveloper has the better of the argument. There's some business about the state wants to be compensated for what appears to be a third time for Green Acres property. They're compensated once in the first instance when the property was bought. Then they were compensated again when the property with the diversion. They now want to be paid a third time through the Tidelands, even though we got a sweep grant. I have every confidence that the redeveloper will handle it. And by the way, it's their fight anyway, but it's my job to keep an eye on things, even these types of agency and regulatory struggles. So I just tell you that they're hitting a rough patch, and the Redevelopers Council is working on it. And I'm following the progress because, as you all know, I see that Tidelands finish as a pretty important step. Maybe the crossing of the Rubicon is how I responded to it before, because once somebody's written a check for just under $1 million, they're married to a project. And that's what's about to happen when we have all the details resolved. And the redeveloper is not the holdup. It's the state's come up with a new ask, so to speak. Other than that, folks, that's all I have, except progress on all other fronts. incremental though it might be.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Any questions for Solicitor McKenna before we move on to new business? No. All right. New business, resolution of the Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency, resolution number 10:031-21, authorizing payment of outstanding bills.
I make a
I
motion.
authorize,
Who is, I got
Mr. Whitman,
Frank,
Mr. Whitman.
I'll second it. Frank did it.
All right. So we got the chairman on first, Mr. Whitman on second. Again, financial. So we'll do a roll call. Chairman Philippek,
Yes.
Vice Chair Haggerty,
Yes.
Commissioner Bider,
Yes.
Commissioner Kapados,
Yes.
Commissioner Whitman,
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson.
Yes.
All right, that concludes new business, gentlemen. Public portion. Do not believe I've seen anybody on the portal, but again, in the interest of diligence and compliance, I'll give it a couple second delay before we move on. I'll close the public portion. That brings us to an adjournment. Motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Bider. Second,
I'll second it.
is that you, Jeff?
Jeff, yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, thank you, gentlemen. That concludes the meeting. Right now, the regular meeting for November is scheduled on the 15th. Like I said, I'm gonna have to take a look at the schedule with getting the audit done with Bowman. And then another thing to navigate that week is the League of Municipalities. So I got to look at that schedule and how everything's going to fall into place there. So, and that is it. So thank you. If any questions, feel free to reach out. If not, I will be, reaching out this week,